Hello everyone and welcome. Today, we're going to explore an important topic in thermal engineering and power generation. The heat balance in an ideal reheat regenerative cycle. Understanding this will give you great insights into how we can improve the efficiency of steam power plants and why this matters not just technically, but economically and environmentally as well. So let's get started. Why improve power cycles? First, let's talk about why we're even improving power cycles. In traditional steam power plants, a lot of energy from fuel doesn't get converted into useful work from fuel. Sometimes it is lost, mostly as heat. Improving the cycle efficiency can help us reduce this waste, leading to major savings in fuel consumption. It also means fewer emissions, longer equipment life, and better performance overall. In a competitive world, in a competitive world, higher efficiency isn't optional. It is necessary. Let us move on into the basic Rankine cycle recap. Before we dive into advanced versions, let's quickly recall the basic Rankine cycle. The cycle has four major processes. First, we generate steam at high pressure into a boiler. Then, the steam expands through a turbine, producing work. After expansion, it condenses into water in a condenser. Finally, a pump sends it back to the boiler, completing the loop. This is simple and robust, but not very efficient, especially at higher outputs. So now, I will introduce to you reheat and regeneration. So to address the inefficiency of the basic Rankine cycle, engineers introduced two important modifications, reheat and regeneration. Reheating involves partially expanding the steam, reheating it, and expanding it again. Regeneration involves extracting a portion of the expanding steam and using it to preheat the feed water before it enters the boiler. Both methods significantly boost efficiency but in different ways.
So next is the diagram that shows how the Rankine cycle is modified using reheat and regeneration. So for reheat, steam expands in a high pressure turbine, is reheated in the boiler, and then expands again in a low pressure turbine. So this improves efficiency and reduces turbine moisture. For regeneration, part of the steam is extracted from the turbine and used to preheat feed water in the feed water heater. This reduces the fuel needed for boiling. The labeled components like steam turbine, feed water heater, and boiler help to visualize the flow and energy recovery steps in the system. So this slide explains heat balance, which is the principle that energy entering a system equals energy leaving it plus any losses. So this means the heat added to the system equals the network output plus the heat rejected. So the next slide introduces two methods to improve the efficiency of the Rankine cycle. So for reheat, steam is reheated between turbine stages to reduce moisture and increase output work, and it protects the turbine and boosts performance. For regeneration, extracted steam is used to preheat the feed water, reducing the energy needed in the boiler and improving thermal efficiency. So both methods help increase the overall efficiency and effectiveness of power plants.
Next is the sample problem. A steam power plant operates on an ideal reheat regenerative Rankine cycle. Steam enters the high-pressure turbine at 15 megapascal and 600 degrees Celsius and expands to a pressure of 4 megapascal. where it is reheated to 500 degrees Celsius before entering the low pressure turbine. The steam then expands to a condenser pressure of 10 kilopascal. The cycle includes one open feed water heater operating at 1 megapascal, where some steam is extracted from the turbine for regeneration. Assume all expansion and compression processes are isentropic and that the feed water leaves the heater as saturated liquid. Determine the net work output per kilogram of steam and the thermal efficiency of the cycle. Next, here are the given for the problem. The boiler pressure is 15 megapascal, the boiler temperature is 600 degrees Celsius, the reheat pressure is 4 megapascal, the reheat temperature is 500 degrees Celsius, the condenser pressure is 10 kilopascal, and there is one feed water heater, open type, at 1 megapascal for regeneration, and assume ideal processes, isentropic expansion and compression. The required for the problem is the network output per kilogram of steam and the cycle thermal efficiency. Next, the first step in solving this problem is to state points definition. At point 1 is the boiler outlet before high pressure turbine. At point 2, after expansion to reheat pressure before reheating. At point 3, after reheating before low pressure turbine. At point 4, after full expansion to condenser. At point 5, condensate saturated liquid at 10 kilopascal. At point 6, after first feed water pump to feed water heater pressure at 1 megapascal. At point 7, saturated liquid exiting feed water heater. And at point 8, after second pump to boiler pressure.
Step-by-step solution. Step 3. Calculate for work and heat use. Use the listed values per state. In this slide, the main focus is in the turbine work, specifically the expansion process. The first one is the high pressure turbine work, in which the formula is enthalpy 1 minus enthalpy 2, and if we substitute it, it will become 3583 minus 3160 is equal to 423 kilojoules per kilogram. Enthalpy drop from state 1 to state 2 in the high pressure turbine gives the work output per kilogram of steam. The second one is the low pressure turbine, in which this accounts for a fraction of steam, the quantity of 1 minus y, expanding in the low pressure turbine. The given values are enthalpy 3, which is 3530 kilojoules per kilogram, and H4 or enthalpy 4, which is equal to 2100 kilojoules per kilogram. And it will become 1 minus y times 1430 kilojoules per kilogram. For the next slide, we will focus on pump work, which is the compression process. Pump work 1 is equal to specific volume times the quantity of pressure 2 minus pressure 1. For water, the specific volume is 0.001 meter cube per kilogram. And for pressures, the given are the pressure 2, which is 1000 kilopascal, and the pressure 1 is 10 kilopascal. And the formula will become 0.001 times the quantity of 1000 minus 10, and the answer will be 0.99 kilojoules per kilogram. Pump work 2. The second pump raises pressure from 1 MPa to 15 MPa. It will become 0.001 times the quantity of 15,000 minus 1,000, and the answer will become 14 kilojoules per kilogram. In the next slide, there is a formula, and this slide explains how to calculate the heat added in a thermal power cycle, specifically in the boiler and reheater. Heat added in boiler The formula is the quantity of 1 minus 1, y I mean, times the quantity of enthalpy 1 minus enthalpy 7. This formula calculates the heat added to the working fluid in the boiler. The next one is heat added in the reheater, in which the formula is 1 minus y times the quantity of enthalpy 3 minus enthalpy 2. This formula calculates the heat added in the reheater, where enthalpy 3 and enthalpy 2 are enthalpies before and after reheating. Thank you.
Okay. In this next step, step 4, solve for the extraction factor. Okay, at the feed water heater open type, applying the energy balance. So energy in is equals to energy out. And here are the solution for that. And then we solve for the y. Okay, y is equals to h7 minus h6 over h2 minus h6. And here are the givens. And then if we substitute all of this, we will get 0.192. Thus, about 19.2% of the steam is extracted at 1 MPa. Okay, in this step 4, we solve for something called the extraction factor. This tells us to how well one liquid can remove a certain substance from another liquid. We use the values given in the problem for each state and apply the correct formula to find out how efficient extraction is. Next step, step 5, final calculations. Use the listed values for state. Now we solve for turbine work. Total turbine work. Work turbine is equals to work turbine high pressure plus work turbine low pressure. And then we substitute the given in here and we will get the 1578 kilojoules per kilogram. In this step, we continue the final calculation and we make sure we are using the correct values for each state and double checking our math so everything adds up properly. In this next final calculation, we solve for the pump's work this time. Okay, the total pump work is how to get this is work pump is equals to work pump 1 plus work pump 2. And then we substitute the given and we will get the 14.99 kilojoules per kilogram. Okay, here we're still working on the final values and it's important to keep all the units and numbers consistent so we don't make mistakes when adding or subtracting the results. In this step 5 final calculation, we will solve the net work. So how to get this is W net is equals to work turbine minus work pump. And then we substitute the given and we'll get the 1563 kilojoules per kilogram. Okay, in this last part of our solution, after finishing all the calculations, we now have the complete results of the experiment. We can now analyze and interpret what the numbers tell us to the extraction process.
For total heat added, we have Q in boiler and Q in reheater. In Q in boiler, we have 1 minus 0.192 times H1 minus H7. We have 0.808 times 3583 minus 762. The result will be 2279 kilojoule per kilogram. In Q in reheater, we have 1 minus 0.192 times H3 minus H2 is equal to 0.808 times 3530 minus 3160 is equal to 299 kilojoule per kilogram. For total heat added, we have Q plus boiler plus Q plus reheater. We have 2279 plus 299. The result will be 2578 kilojoule per kilogram. In finding the thermal efficiency, we have thermal efficiency is equal to work net over Q in. 15763 over 25968 times 100 is equal to 60.6%. So the final answer, we have the for network output 1563 kilojoule per kilogram and thermal efficiency 60.6%.